Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom and welcome to our Biblical Hebrew podcast. Today I would like to speak to you about few verses from Genesis 29 and understand their abstract meaning or the structure, so to speak, that works in the love of Jacob to Rachel. But before we try to abstract and to see the structure, we shall read the verses. We shall read from Genesis 29:16. We shall read in Hebrew and then translate it into English. וללבן שתי בנות. And Laban, this is in English a name, but in Hebrew, Lavan means white, the color white. וללבן שתי בנות. And Laban has two daughters. Shem הגדולה Leah, the name of the elder is Leah, ושם הקטנה Rachel, and the name of the younger is Rachel. If you notice, I translate the verse in present tense because it's not historical. Story is the structure of our life. We shall continue verse 17. ועיני לאה רכות, and Leah's eyes are soft. ורחל הייתה יפת תואר ויפת מראה. And Rachel was good looking and beautiful to look. ויאהב יעקב את רחל. And Jacob loved Rachel. Like we have mentioned in previous sessions in the book of Ruth, the sages see in those names an expression of the tetragrammaton, the name with the 4 letters. For example, in the writings of Ha'ari, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, that lived in the 16th century in Tzfat, we find that the name Lavan, in Hebrew means white, refers to the upper light or to the letter Yod of the tetragrammaton. And the first letter He refers to Leah. This is why she's the elder daughter, not in age but quality of the first He is bigger than the second He, though they graphically look the same. For the first He is associated with the divine understanding beyond time and space, or the soul. In Hebrew, neshama. This is why Leah is the elder daughter. The soul is elder relatively to the body. Another reference of Leah, we have mentioned in our previous conversations that the verse from Genesis 2:23, the speech of the letter Vav, refers to the upper He as bone of my bones, and we translated it as essence of my essence, and the essence of our life here is the soul. This is why the soul is white, so to speak, and is hinted by the bone. The bone is also white, it's just a hint. This is the realm that deals with Leah, the tree of life, the first He of the tetragrammaton, the soul, and the color white, bone. Now, in all of this story, Jacob is associated with the letter Vav of the tetragrammaton, while the second letter He of the tetragrammaton is associated with Rachel and with The second part of the verse from Genesis, flesh of my flesh. The flesh is red, and Rachel, in a way, is expression of the tree of knowledge. This is why the Bible refers to her as Yifat To'ar v'Yifat Mar'eh, the double aspect of beauty, like the woman was impressed from the fruit of the tree of knowledge, good for the eyes, and enchanted to be wise. In Genesis 3, let's look at the speech of Eve, how she describes the tree of knowledge. And now we read from Genesis 3:6. And the woman saw that the tree was good to eat from, and it was lust for the eyes, ונכמד העץ להשכיל, and it's desired to be wise. So we see here in the first verse how Eve, in a way here, we meet the second Eve, as we implied before, and the impression from the tree of knowledge. And in a way, Rachel carries with her this structure of the tree of knowledge. She is beautiful to look at, and she has extraordinary features, lust to the eyes. So, let us return back to the characters, like in the book of Ruth. We have here, so to speak, 4 characters, or 4 names, or 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton. The father, Laban, or Lavan in Hebrew, means white, referring to the upper light, and the letter Yod, the quality of 10. The first letter He refers to Leah, the first daughter, or the elder daughter, or the soul, or the tree of life, or the bone, or the essence, because the bone is white, not for the physical bone, but everything is allegory here. The letter Vav, which associated with the spirit, is Jacob, and the last letter He of the Tetragrammaton, which is associated with the tree of knowledge, is basically Rachel, or flesh, or second Eve, the tree of knowledge, and the color red. Flesh is red. It's like, in a way, the same story with Cain and Hevel and their offerings. Like Hevel's offering was white, the wool of the sheep, and their milk is white. We see demonstration in Leah, the bone. Again, this is lateral thinking. This is a non-linear thinking. And Cain with the fruit of the land. The fruit of the land, the sages say it was wine, was red. And here the flesh is red again. So there's a lot of images are running maybe in our head. When we hear this kind of conversation, it's very fruitful. Now the question is why Jacob loves Rachel. The Bible says very poetically, because she was beautiful to look at and enormous features. So, but if we want to go to the core reason, we have to abstract it more and look into the letters that represent the worlds, the realms, the names. The name Rachel is written with 3 letters. Resh, Chet, Lamed. Now, Jacob, the one who loves her, is associated with the letter Vav and with the element of spirit. In Hebrew, Ruach, spirit, air. Now, the word Ruach we write also with 3 letters, Resh, Vav, Chet, Ruach, spirit. Now, interestingly, if we write those 2 words next to each other, we see that those words are sharing the same 2 letters, meaning both words Ruach and Rachel have in common the letter Resh, which is 200, and the letter Chet, which is marked by the number 8. The only difference between Ruach, spirit, and Rachel, the name, is in Ruach we have the letter Vav, which is associated with the number 6, and in Rachel, we have the letter Lamed, which is reflected by the number 30. So, Resh and Chet are mutual to both words. So we put them aside like in mathematical equation. And what is left is the number 30, the letter Lamed, and the number 6, the letter Vav. What is the relation between Lamed and Vav? It's simple. Since Vav is 6, so 5 times 6 gives us 30. In a way, the letter Lamed hosts the letter Vav 5 times in its volume. This is for the mathematical thinking. Now, another secret that connects those two letters is that the letter Lamed is graphically written with the letter Kaf, which is 20, and the letter Vav upon it like a flag. So even graphically, the letter Lamed holds the letter Vav on the letter Kaf. So in a way, we can see by looking carefully at the letters of the name Rachel, and the word Ruach, spirit, which Jacob represents in this case, we see how the name Rachel is a beautiful dressing or envelope for the spirit. Or, in other words, we see from the spirit perspective how the name Rachel is perfect house for her to dwell in. And this is why the Bible mentions that the main tent that Jacob was dwelling in was Rachel's, and when Rachel passed away, Jacob anchored his bed in her maid's tent, Bilhah. And this is also a giant secret that we might discuss later. So, this was a little conversation about what is the cause, the spiritual cause for Jacob to love Rachel. We wish you a beautiful day and wonderful week.
Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to hear more about a certain topic, just write us an email to hebrew@learnoutlive.com. We are always happy to hear from you. For more episodes, videos, and articles like this, please visit our website at hebrew.learnoutlive.com. We also would like to invite you to join our live classes. Just search for Online College of Biblical Hebrew on Facebook and start learning now with students from all over the world. Koltuv and Shalom.